LATENIVENATRIX is now being reworked with a brand new TLC. Now this is not a model TLC, this is an ability overhaul for the dinosaur. So we don't need to showcase all the calls, the animations, the new model and all that jazz. We just have some abilities to talk about and showcase today from what we can. Now I'm going to quickly rattle through and talk about what's new with this, and then we'll showcase them off. So oh, and additionally, there is this new skin, which is part of a new skin pack that is out now. I recommend you get it because it's such a really pretty skin. The orange combos for it are really nice. Now, let's talk about the new abilities. So, the first one is a passive. This is called Moonlight Hunter. This gains 15% increased damage and 10% increased movement speed during the night. So that's pretty cool there. You move to the head. Now you only get one head slot, and I think you should get two here because you get 4 things to choose from, and some of them are specific to, say, pouncing. For example, you have Mangle, which is new. This cannot be used while pounced, but it is an attack that deals bleed damage to a target. Then you've got Shred, which is one that can only be used while pounced, and it deals damage, but it has a scaling stamina cost, which is quite important there. Then you go to your sensors. You've got 3 brand new sensors. Now before this did not even have a sensors like ability to fill the empty slot. So you've got Bloodlust, which is where all your attacks deal 25% less damage but gain 25% increased bleed. Then you've got Nocturnal, which increases stamina recovery by 50% during the night. Then you've got Skittish, which reduces Pounce's cooldown time by 50%, which is actually pretty neat. I do want to see how good that Nocturnal ability is. Then you've got for your diets Hyper Carnivore and Scavenger, which is standard. For the hides you get some new ones. Now I think Night Stalker we've seen before. Then you've got Revitalize, which is brand new, which is while you're on low health you gain dramatically increased health recovery until health is healed to 25%, which is actually quite interesting. Then it should go to base heal rates. Then after that you've got Scatter, which allows you to leap high into the air when detaching from pounced enemies. Of course, you've got some new stuff here. You've got your standard pounce and ripping kick from before, but you've got leaping start now, which allows you to get a really quick boost of speed, or a burst of speed, for 10 seconds. You have to crouch for 10 seconds beforehand, and it's only usable at night. Then you've got Puncture, which is a kick attack that can only be used while pouncing. So it looks like you've got kicks that you can do while pouncing and bites that you can do only while pouncing. So you kind of want to judge, am I just going to be a pouncer support playstyle, or am I going to be biting instead, just running around causing chaos? If you're going for the pouncing gameplay style, do you really want like just, you know, you bite, or like in what condition do you want Shred and Puncture on its own, and then you can't attack anything, right? For your tail you get Featherweight, which survives any fatal fall that leaves you with 1 HP. We're going to test that out in a moment. Then you've got Moon Runner, which sprinting requires 25% less stamina during nighttime, and then obviously your standard tail fan. For your abilities you've got your standard vocals here. Then you've got a new one, which is Lord of the Terrors, which is a call usable only during night. It removes 10% of stamina from all creatures within 100 meters and reduces their damage by 10% for 30 seconds if the target's not in combat already. Then you've got Mob Rally, which increases damage while pounced by 20%, but it stacks up to 10 times. Let's showcase all of this off. So with your standard abilities here, the first one is Mangle. This is the new bite attack that deals bleed damage instead of main damage or raw damage, and as you can see this does a lot less damage than usual. If we can get a side comparison with it with the standard bite attack really quickly, you can see. But in terms of bleed, you're doing about 15 seconds to this Metriacanthosaurus with a 5-second cooldown. So every time you bite, it's technically 10 new seconds or 15 new seconds, but you've already lost 5 seconds. And as you can see, that is a bleed focused attack. Now, I don't really know whether it's worth having this, especially when you've only got 2 head slots. So now that I'm pounced, I can showcase the other new abilities. So the first one is Shred, which does damage but takes a lot of stamina off every time. Now it looks like in the sense of things, you're not dealing more damage with every bite. You're just doing like similar amounts, and then you're draining a lot of stamina. I don't know how worth it that ability is. Although when you have lots of Latins doing it, maybe it's more worth it. The other ability I'm going to show while I'm pounced will be Scatter, but we do want to quickly showcase another one, which is the kick. I think this is called Puncture. And as you can see, a 30-second cooldown on that attack. Now this lowers the bleed heal of the target by 10% and increases bleed damage for 2 minutes, which is quite decent. Of course, however, I didn't feel like a scatter. Did I do it wrong? I didn't feel that scattery. I don't know if I'm leaping high there, but you know, we'll see how things go. But of course, the other abilities. So the next ability I want to showcase really quickly is Leaping Start. Now this is an ability that is only usable in nighttime, but gives you a very big speed boost. Now you have to crouch for 10 seconds. When it hits 5 seconds, it will finally showcase it, or 6, on just above your, you know, where all your icons are. That will show with this little leapy icon, and when it's fully charged, it will show like that without any cooldown next to it. As soon as you start running, you'll be able to tell. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. You got some feathers coming off, some speed boosts, and this is literally like if you set your attributes to a really high amount, it's like insane. Look at it go. And then as soon as it goes off, you can tell it's so substantial. But the other thing I want to point out is the stamina drain. This is your standard stamina drain right now on a LATENIVENATRIX, right? This can be made to be even better than it is now, because that's already good stamina drain while sprinting, but it can get even better, because that's when the handy ability Moonrunner comes in, because it makes your sprinting drain 25% less like intense. And this is what it's like after that. It's a bit noticeable once like you kick into that gear, you're running around. That extra stamina will be a lot more noticeable than before, right? And it's a really handy ability, but this can go one step further, because there's an ability, once again in the night, basically makes you have so much stamina, and it's nocturnal. Your stamina recovery rate goes up by 50%. So if I set my stamina right to 0 with this on, and then I sit down and sleep, look at how fast it goes up. And there we are. We're already full on stamina, right? This thing is now tuned to be a nighttime hunter. Like, there's no other gameplay style where this would be more tuned to. Like, if you want the best play style from a dinosaur, from this dinosaur, use it in the night. Although you can use it elsewhere. It's just you're more equipped and you're more OP at nighttime, right? The other one is Skittish. Now, Skittish affects your pounce cooldown time, and this is another sensibility. Now, before it's like 12 seconds, and then after that, it's 6 to 5 seconds, which is once again really strong, especially when you're doing a lot of pouncing. Now, this is an ability you want to equip with like the other ones like Scatter, and also if you're going for that pouncing gameplay style, you'd need to be pouncing a lot more often, and that's the handy dandy one right there to have, which is Skittish. Now, the final thing I do want to showcase for you all is the ability which is Featherweight. Any fatal fall that will leave you dead, you'll have 1 HP. So, I've set my fall death speed to 0.1. So that means any little fall will kill me instantly. So, the best way to showcase this is just by jumping into somewhere where people often maybe fall into and die, which is Impact Crater, which I've done this on purpose many times. And there you go. Before I died there was a little like pulse of feathers coming out, and then you had a small like X next to it, and it meant that you couldn't. Now, that was probably a bad example because I had it set solo and I fell straight after, but it did showcase that if you are going to be left on 1 HP from a fall, then it's going to kick in. Now, I'm not sure if it will kick in if you've already taken damage, but other than that, I do want to quickly showcase the calls of the animations for the new calls. This is Lord of the Terrors and Mob Rally. These are some I do believe are more effective when you're showing it with a group of people. We'd need a lot of people to be able to show this off, but I do want to show this off really quickly, so this is them. Have a watch, and then once this is done, the video will be wrapped up, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.